Hey guys, and welcome to the first episode of The Bite. My name's Jackie, and today I'm going to be sharing with you something I've been getting a ton of requests for, something delicious and easy, and has become a big part of US culture today too. It's hummus. Hummus is a vegan dip. You can use it as a meal, you can use it to dip vegetables. There's so many different uses for it. But I'm going to be showing you 3 ways to make this. I'll start with the traditional way. That's going to be the base for all of them. I'll show you a cilantro jalapeno version and something we call Fatiyet hummus, which is topped off with meat and it acts as a meal. And I'll show you how to make that in a second. But to start off with, this is the base for all of them. You'll need 1 can of chickpeas that I've rinsed and drained. You can use dry. You will need to soak them for a couple days though, otherwise they won't grind up and give you the right consistency. You'll need a small saucepan to boil the chickpeas with some water, which I have here. You'll need some tahini or tahini paste. This is just ground up sesame seeds. You're starting to be able to find this at most grocery stores lately in the ethnic aisle, so you shouldn't have a problem finding this one. This is just regular salt, and I have here some lemon juice, some freshly squeezed lemon juice. That is the base for all of the hummus that we're gonna make today. For decoration, I like to use some paprika, some extra virgin good quality olive oil, and some parsley. I just chop this up and sprinkle it on top, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. So let's start it off. We're just going to need to put the chickpeas in a saucepan and just fill it up with some water. You just want to make sure that the chickpeas are covered, just like this. And let's take it to the saucepan. So I'm gonna let this boil for a couple minutes and then I'll show you what we do next. So I've let the beans come to a soft boil on the stove, and now all I'm going to do, also, I do want to mention, reserve the liquid that the chickpeas have boiled in. You're going to want to dilute your hummus a little bit, otherwise it's going to be just a thick paste. So I'm just scooping all of the beans out with my slotted spoon. The nice thing about doing it this way is you can kind of control the amount of liquid that's going to go into the hummus. Okay, so that's done. You're going to need, well, one thing that I did forget to mention earlier is that you will need to put a clove of garlic in here. It's going to give the hummus a really nice flavor. You'll need a little bit of lemon juice. I'm using about 3-4 teaspoons. You'll need a bit of salt. Start off with a little bit. You can always add, but you can't take away. I'd say about 1/4 teaspoon, 1/2 teaspoon. You'll need some tahini. Now you definitely want to stir this. Usually, I mean, I've already stirred this, but usually you'll find that it's separated. The oil would be on the top and the thick part will be on the bottom. So I'm just stirring it to make sure it's all well combined before I add it. And I'm gonna use about 1.5 tablespoons maybe. Get that off. That tablespoon and a little bit more. Okay. With that, I definitely want to use some of this liquid, okay? So start off with a little bit again. You can always add, but you can't remove. And I'm gonna put the lid on my food processor. Since the beans in here are hot, they just came off of the stove, I'm gonna give it a little bit of air to breathe. So I'm just taking off a little piece. I'm gonna pulse this on high until it becomes a smooth consistency. Okay, so my hummus is done and ready to go. This is the kind of consistency you're looking for. And if it seems to be a little too liquidy, don't worry because it's hot right now. Once it kind of cools off and you let it chill in the fridge for a little bit, if you so choose, it will thicken up. So if it's hot and it's a little bit loose, don't worry, it'll thicken. So at this point, the traditional hummus is done. Now what I'm going to do is turn this into a cilantro jalapeno hummus. This is one that I usually gravitate to because I just love the taste of fresh cilantro. If you don't like cilantro, you can leave it out. I wouldn't really substitute it for parsley because parsley can have quite a strong flavor and it doesn't combine as well with the jalapenos. So I have about, I'd say, 1 cup here that I've just taken the stems off of and I've washed. And I also have about 1/2 of a jalapeno here. I like it spicy, so I leave the seeds and the veins in. You can totally take those out though if you are not a fan of spicy foods, or even omit the jalapeno altogether. So, I'm gonna put the lid back on and we're gonna pulse this until all of it is well combined. Okay, so you can see this beautiful green color, the little specks of the jalapeno and the cilantro. It's just so pretty. So, let's set this down. And I'm gonna show you how I like to plate this. I take a regular tablespoon. Now, my parents have always stressed to me that you eat with your eyes first. Okay, so we're gonna make this dish very beautiful. It's gonna make you wanna eat it, and it's gonna make you wanna just stare at it too a little bit. This is how my dad would always decorate his hummus. Okay. So I'm taking that, and I've made a little moat around here, and you kind of saw how I was just spinning this around the hummus. Easy as that. Made a little divot for our olive oil. Doesn't need to be perfect. It's actually nice when it's quite rustic like this. Afterwards, I take some paprika. No need to measure it out. It's not gonna give it too much flavor. It's not spicy in any way. It just adds a pretty little addition to the dish, you know? And since we made a cilantro jalapeno version, I'm just taking a little bit extra cilantro that I've reserved on the side. And I'm just slicing that up right here. Okay. And I'm going to take this, and we're just gonna sprinkle this on top. You can totally eat this with some bread. You can dip vegetables in it. You can use it as a spread for sandwiches instead of mayo. It's perfect. It's awesome. It's warm. You can eat it cold, however you want. So this is cilantro jalapeno hummus. And next we're gonna move on to the Fatiyet hummus. Okay guys, so now we're working on the Fatiyet hummus. So all you're gonna need in addition to the base, which I have already made here, just like we did the other ones, you're gonna need a couple slices of pita bread that we're gonna be toasting in the oven. I've already got my oven preheated to 350, so I'll stick that in a second. You're gonna need some meat. I have here some beef that I've just chopped into little fine little pieces. You can also use lamb, or if you wanted a completely vegan version, you can even use mushrooms. That would be awesome. With the meat, we're going to be mixing some more salt, a little bit of pepper, some allspice, some garlic that I've just finely chopped here, and some good extra virgin olive oil. Okay, so let's stick the pita bread into the oven that I've already got preheated at 350. And we're just gonna want them to get a nice golden crispy color. One other thing that I forgot to mention we're going to need is some toasted almonds. Here I have some slivered almonds, and we're gonna be toasting these. It gives it a really good flavor. And it's just a little extra crunch. You know, I like a little extra crunchiness in my food. So we're letting this olive oil heat up. We're gonna add the garlic. Actually, use this. And we just want it to get fragrant in here. My garlic has become nice and fragrant. You see that it's not burnt at all, but it's just got a nice little sizzle going. We're gonna add all of our meat. Now I have about a pound or so here that I've just finely chopped, and you're gonna wanna cook this until it's no longer pink. Now as far as the salt and pepper goes, you really wanna kind of add it to your taste. I like to definitely start with just a little, and I kind of also know how much I like, just because I have the hand for it now, for the salt and the pepper. I'd say about a half teaspoon, a quarter teaspoon to a half teaspoon of salt, and about a quarter teaspoon of pepper. As far as the allspice, let's see, about a teaspoon is good. And that gives a really nice earthy flavor. Then what we're gonna do is take some of our hummus that we've made and some of the reserved chickpea liquid and kind of mix it in with the pita bread chips. That way it softens them. And I know some people might say, well, why did you even toast them if you're just gonna soften them? If you use just regular pita bread, it will get soggy. It won't have that same toasted flavor that you're looking for. You want to add flavor to every layer that you're making. Okay, so now that the meat is just about done, I'm going to add some olive oil. You can also do this with butter. And we're going to saute the slivered almonds. So I'm just putting it on medium heat, medium to low-ish heat. We're going to let that toast up. And that is what we're going to use to top off our Fatiyet hummus. So this is the beautiful color you're looking for your slivered almonds. You're gonna notice they're done when they start to, you know, perfume your house. Alrighty. So getting that all in there. Make sure you turn off your stove too. So this is everything that we're gonna need to assemble our Fatiyet hummus. I've toasted the bread till it's almost like crackers, and we're just going to crumble it up in here into little bite-sized pieces. So I ended up using about 1.5 pieces of the slices of pita bread, and I've just crumbled them all up into little bite-sized pieces. Everything else we're gonna need is right here in front of us. So I've got the meat that I've cooked and sauteed in those delicious spices. I've got the reserved cooking liquid from the chickpeas, some toasted almonds that we just took off the stove, my hummus that we've prepared already, and I've just chopped up some parsley to sprinkle on top for a little extra freshness, and of course some extra virgin good quality olive oil. So let's start with the layering process. I'm going to take some tablespoons of the water and we're just going to mix it in with the bread. I know it sounds pretty odd, but this is just to soften the bread up a little bit. I'm taking about, what is that, about four tablespoons. We're going to also mix in some of the hummus that we've already prepared. We're just mixing that in with the bread. And this is going to be the bottom layer. So this is kind of what you're looking for right here. You want it to be all one even layer of the hummus mixed with the pita bread right here. Next, we're just going to add, here I'll grab my spatula, make it a little easier on you. We're gonna grab the rest of the hummus that's in here, and it's just gonna be a layer right on top. It's gonna be that familiar layer that we are looking for. Okay, so spoon it out so that everything is kind of covered. Again, we eat with our eyes, so we're gonna just wanna clean off these edges over here. Okay, there we go, looks a little bit better, right? Now let's take the meat. That is the next layer. We're just gonna put that right on top. And all of the delicious meat and the garlic is gonna go right on top. It smells so good. Okay. Next, we want our delicious toasted slivered almonds. Now the last, or one of the last steps, we're definitely gonna want some olive oil on this baby. Okay, olive oil makes everything better, right? And the last step, for some added freshness, a little bit of parsley. Look at how beautiful that is. Adding some fresh herbs, some beautiful color to any dish just makes it look so much more appetizing. Don't you think so? So I'm gonna get back to you with some serving options and the way we like to eat it traditionally, and we'll get back to you in just a second. Okay guys, so there you have it. 3 delicious and easy ways to make a hummus, a simple and delicious meal or dip or spread, however you'd like to have it. Here I have just a traditional breakfast that we usually have on like a Sunday morning. We got some fresh vegetables here. Usually we have like tomatoes and cucumbers, some cheese, some pickles. This is something we call zayt ou za'atar. This is the zayt, which is just oil. This is olive oil. And this is za'atar, which is another spice that is also becoming popular in the US as well. It's a mix of thyme, oregano, some sesame seeds, just a bunch of mix of delicious spices. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you're excited to see more because I'm definitely excited to film some more for you guys. And if you have any questions, comment down below. I'd love to hear from you, and thank you for watching The Bite.